The beauty of the Mahabharata lies in the fact that it is an epic that can be told and retold endlessly, each time from a different perspective. I'm sure most of you must have read The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Divakaruni, which is from Draupadi's perspective. And no, I'm not going to review that book today because among all these perspectives, the closest to being human or the closest to being morally upright, at least according to me, is Bhima's voice. That too as imagined in Randamuram or Bhima the Lone Warrior by M.T. Vasudevan Nair. So this is a Malayalam book which has been translated into English. So Bhima has long been misunderstood. He has been reduced to muscle without mind, rage without reason. But in this novel, M.T. Vasudevan Nair does something radical. He restores Bhima's inner life. He shows us a man whose strength is not just his defining trait, his empathy is. Bhima is the one who loved and respected Draupadi most deeply, not as a possession, not as a symbol of honor, but as a person. When Draupadi is humiliated in the Kaurava court, it is Bhima who erupts, whose fury is uncontrollable, whose vows are born not of wounded pride, but of unbearable injustice. While others debate dharma, legality, and destiny, Bhima responds the only way a deeply human man can, with rage at cruelty. M.T. Vasudevan Nair does not glorify this rage. He shows it as pain transformed into violence, the helplessness or despair of a man who cannot tolerate humiliation inflicted on someone he deeply loves. And the same humanity resurfaces during their final journey towards heaven. When Draupadi falls on the path, it is Bhima alone, who turns back, who wants to help her. He pleads, he questions, he asks his brothers to help her. To which Yudhishthira, the so called son of Dharma, bound by moral absolutism, explains her fall as punishment, that her partiality towards Arjun disqualifies her from heaven. Bhima cannot accept this logic. For him, love is not a sin, partiality is not a crime, and compassion should never be sacrificed at the altar of righteousness. He wants to help Draupadi, but he is equally exhausted and he moves on. This moment captures the moral heart of the novel. In Bhima, M.T. Vasudevan Nair gives us a character who refuses abstraction, who chooses feeling over philosophy, loyalty over law. Throughout The Lone Warrior, Bhima fights wars he does not design, kills men he does not hate, and shoulders vows he did not make for himself. His loneliness comes not from weakness, but from being emotionally out of sync with a world obsessed with codes and cosmic justice. Nair's writing is spare and deeply introspective. He strips the epic of grandeur and brings Bhima and other characters down to profoundly human scale. A man Bhima is a man who eats, who loves, who aches, who doubts, and who endures everything. This is how Nair humanizes Bhima by allowing him tenderness without apology, anger without villainy, and loyalty without reward. So, Bhima, the lone warrior, is not a celebration of brute strength. It is a meditation. It is an introspection on moral courage, the courage to feel when others choose to rationalize. It's a deeply moving, uh, quite radical, quietly devastating retelling of the Mahabharata, and perhaps the most compassionate of it all. It's the most compassionate voice the epic has ever been given. You must read this book, and I really loved it. I give it a 5 stars. I mean, if I can give it a 6 on the scale of 5, I would. So go read Bhima Bhima the Lone Warrior by M.T. Vasudevan Nair.